Oh, you didn't know? Oh, Game Pass is a bad thing. Well, that's what they'll have you believe. Anyway. You know, there's a lot of copium in this game. I mean a lot, for very, very different things, but there's one product on Xbox which gets more copium than anything else. And that is Game Pass. Why? Because it's just astronomically great and the ponies cannot take it. It doesn't matter the fanboy you speak to, they will try their hardest to downplay Game Pass. They don't want it. They don't need it. It's bad for the industry. It's bad for devs. Any gamer that uses it is part of the problem and we're destroying the industry from the inside out. It's hilarious to me that anyone who enjoys this hobby could really, with a straight face, say that Game Pass is a bad thing. So I just want to get into some of the idiotic, nonsensical, illogical arguments that they make. So one of the big ones we see, and even the logician himself, Reforge, has said this: you're not supporting your games. Apparently, if we play a game in Game Pass, we're not supporting the game or the product. We're not paying with our wallet, though. Well, I hope you keep that same energy when you watch something on Netflix, or Amazon Prime, or you listen to a song on Spotify, or decide to watch an anime on Crunchyroll. I hope you're going out and buying every single anime on Blu-ray, every movie on physical media. I hope you buy everything physical. Every time you want to listen to an album, I hope you're buying the record for it, or the CD for it. Because if you don't, then you're a hypocrite, my guy. Of course, we're supporting them because, you know why? We subscribe to Game Pass, bruv. And those subscriptions, which there are many, bruv, bring in a lot of revenue to Xbox, which allows them to subsidize the developers before the game comes to Game Pass. So trust me, don't worry, the developers are fine. They're looked after. And they love Game Pass. Do you know why? Because it means more hands on their games, bruv. So do not worry. This industry is being supported just fine with Game Pass, right? You know, when I look through my list of friends right now, of which I've got nearly 1,000 by the way, I see Avowed. Avowed is taking over my friends list. There's so many people playing it. I bet you anything that there's more people playing Avowed right now than ever played Astrobot. Ever. Because there's more hands on it. There's more accessibility to Avowed. And that's the case throughout the entire library, my guy. Is Netflix destroying the movie industry because there's movies on there? Is Spotify destroying music forever? You know what I mean? No, it's not. It's a stupid argument. They also say these silly things like they have information on the inside. Like, Game Pass isn't sustainable. Microsoft are losing money. Bro, Microsoft, they are losing tons of money. Tons of money. Oh, bruv, let's set up a GoFundMe for Microsoft because how are they going to cope? They're losing so much. Bruv, it's such a silly thing they say, right? They say things like, well, we don't own our games. You don't own your games. You don't own your games. Well, I've got news for you, Mr. Sony fan. You don't own your games either if you're paying digital for them. As was evident when the PSN went down and even your physical games didn't work unless you had a base PS5. You don't own those licenses for any of your digital games either. And here's the thing, many Xbox fans still buy games. This is another thing that I hear them saying. They come out and say things like, you don't buy games on the Xbox, you just rent them from Game Pass. You do realise that there is an option to buy, right? And you'll find that Xbox players buy more than PlayStation players do. Do you know why? Because Game Pass gives us access to everything. We're more likely to find a game we fall in love with that we might not have otherwise ever bought into. So then we go ahead and support the game with DLCs or microtransactions or whatever else it will be. But we financially, support the product in that way as well. I mean, I've bought games on Xbox. I'm sure many other people have bought games on Xbox. It's a stupid argument, bruv. And then there's this other thing. You have to be broke to use Xbox. It's for broke people. Xbox is for people with no money. It's not about being broke. It's about making smart financial decisions. Look, if you want to pay 70, if you want to pay full price for every game that comes out, all power to you. But I don't have to. With Game Pass, no one has to. Everything coming out is landing on Game Pass, and we don't have to spend an extra for it, and that absolutely kills you. It makes you feel sick. When Doom comes out and you're paying full price for it, and everyone on Xbox is having the time of their life, that really stings you, doesn't it? When Atomfall drops, when Expedition 33 drops, when all the other games that I can't even remember off the top of my head drop, and we don't have to pay a penny extra for it. I know that really winds you up. And what really pisses you guys off even more is the fact that we don't even really need to pay for Game Pass, because the reward system on its own gifts us Game Pass. It's very easy to get enough points to pay for a month of Game Pass just by using your Xbox. So it just doesn't make any sense, bro. But the beauty of Game Pass is its value, and that is the exclusive that counts. And if Game Pass was such a bad thing and Sony didn't like it, why would they be trying to replicate it? Sony have been trying to replicate Game Pass since its conception, but they can't. They can't do it. They don't have the resources. They do not have the structure to pull it off. You will never get PlayStation exclusives day and date. Ever. But you do on Xbox, and it's absolutely fantastic. I've talked about Game Pass before, but I just find it funny. And I'd love to hear I'd love to hear a PlayStation fanboy explain to me why Game Pass is a bad thing. Try and explain to me why this super pro-consumer product, which is incredible value, especially if you have kids and you have real life stuff to pay for, just having access to stuff so easily, how could that ever be a bad thing? It's not. That's the reason. They just hate it. It's that one thing you will never get. Game Pass. It's out of reach for you. And it really does piss you off, doesn't it? Anyway, that's my rant for today. Game Pass, everyone. What do you think about it? Let me know. Do you think it's bad for gaming? Bad for the industry? Should we all just be paying full price for our games? Are we not supporting the developers enough? Let me know in the comments below. As usual, I'm Sir Bruvian. Until next time.